So I'm an ambivert, so in certain situations I'm quiet, shy to myself. In other situations I'm loud, and sometimes I can get to be obnoxious. It just depends on where I'm at and who I'm with. Like if I'm with my very best friends, oh, like we are kikiing, ha-haing, cracking jokes, having the time of our lives. If I'm just, you know, walking into a space or an event, I don't know people, I might be quiet and reserved at first so I can, you know, feel the scene out, be observant, see who's who, and then later in the evening, you know, I'll come alive at the table, or, you know, just through networking. So I would say I'm an ambivert, so it depends on the situation and who I'm around. Hey, what's up? It's your girl Mahogany here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is all about getting to know me. So I have put together a list of how many questions. I put together a list of 50 questions that I'm going to go ahead and answer so you guys can get to know me better. All right, let's get started. And before I really get started, and after I just said let's get started, oh, excuse me, if I look down, it's just because I have a list of questions right here on my laptop. So yeah, that's what I'm looking down. I'm not just like looking at the ground. I'm definitely looking at my laptop. All right, so let's get started. Question number 1. What is your favorite color? Well, you know, when it comes to colors, it's always hard for people to have just one favorite color. So for the longest, my favorite color has been pink. Pink has been my favorite color for years, and that's just because everything I own is pink. I have so much pink, it's crazy, from clothing to items, like everything I have is pink. However, starting in, I would say like my sophomore year, freshman year in high school, green has become one of my also favorite colors. So those would be my top 2 favorite colors. And of course, you know, money's the color of green, right? No, that's not why, but that's just the first thing that I thought of. Okay. Question number 2, do you like indoors or outdoors better? I like both, right? I like being indoor, and during the pandemic I was inside a lot, so I'm like a homebody, right? So I like being in the house. I can watch TV, Netflix series, YouTube for days. There's no bugs inside the house. I make sure of it. I'm a avid sprayer around my apartment because I do not do creatures. However, I was a camp counselor for 3 summers, and I love the outdoors. I love going camping. I love the fireplace. Now, my first summer at camp was interesting, especially my first couple weeks. But by the end of the first summer and beyond, like, I really learned how to get used to like the bugs, just being outside with nature, right? Going hiking, and I'm very athletic, so like playing sports and stuff. So I like to be indoor and outdoor. I just feel like there's a time for everything, so it really just depends. Question 3, what is one thing you could not live without? So for this question, I'm not really gonna take this question serious and be like this is a serious question, but the first thing that came to mind when I read question 3, all my friends and family know this, what I'm gonna say. If you guys are watching, I'm not sure, but ketchup. Ketchup is one of those things that it will be a struggle for me to live without. I don't even know. I need to ask my mom when I first discovered ketchup and when I started obsessing over it, because ever since I could remember, ketchup has been one of those things for me. Like, I need ketchup on everything. Like, I need ketchup. Like, it's to the point where like certain things I can't eat at all without ketchup. I just can't eat it because it's just like, why? It doesn't even taste good without ketchup. You get my drift. Like, it doesn't even, at this point, it doesn't even taste good because I have no ketchup, right? So ketchup is one of those things that I don't think I could live without. It's a struggle. Like, I will go without eating something that I really want to eat and I have the taste for, all because I'm missing that one special ingredient, which is ketchup. Question number 4. What cuisine is your favorite? This is easy, without a doubt. One of my favorite dishes is a classic fettuccine alfredo. You can never go wrong with the fettuccine alfredo, okay? Ever. You can never go wrong with the fettuccine alfredo. Like, that's one of my go-to dishes. I can have it with or without chicken. I prefer chicken, but it really depends on the restaurant that I'm at. But you can never go wrong with the fettuccine alfredo. I mean, it's just exquisite. Question 5. Do you like to play video games? Yes, I do like to play video games. However, I do not play video games often. You really have to catch me in a phase. And there's only 2 types of video games I play. I guess there's 3. First one, fighting games, specifically Mortal Kombat, but just fighting games in general. But Mortal Kombat is like my #1 go-to. Sub-Zero all day. That's the only player I really like to play with. I'm not one of those people that like to switch players. Like, no, this is my player. I can beat you. Pick whoever you want. Let's go. My second is racing. Any type of racing game I'm good at usually. That's my go-to even at the arcade. Racing games are my thing. And then the third, like any I'm trying to think of what you call them, but like any Mario games. I play a lot of those Mario games, but I've always had game systems growing up. My mom always made sure, or got them for me. Had a lot of Game Boys as well. Right now I'm on a PlayStation tip, but like a few years ago I was on the Xbox 360 tip. So I mean, I really don't have like a yay or nay which one I prefer, but right now I'm on the PlayStation tip. But yeah, those are my top 3 games. And yes, I play video games, but you have to catch me in like a phase. Like, I go through a phase where like I play them really heavy, and then like I go through a phase where I don't play it for a long time. So question 6, are you a good singer? So I don't really consider myself a singer. I consider myself an artist, a poet. Growing up, I did sing in the church choir. I was never in the choir at school because my mom always put me in band, and I had to stick in band. But so, I mean, I have confidence. I wouldn't consider myself a singer per se, but yeah, I can hold a note, hit a tune. Now, some notes and tunes be a little sharp and flat now. It is what it is, but you know what they say, practice makes improvements. So over time I'll get better at hitting those notes, but yeah, I think I'm pretty decent. Question 7, who inspires you? So I have a lot of different things that inspire me. For instance, my grandparents inspire me. My granny inspires me. My mom inspires me. My sister. My daily circumstances inspire me. I inspire myself. Surprisingly, like, well, no, not surprisingly, that's not a good word, but like, my ancestors inspire me. When I actually go back and dive and look deep into history, like, sometimes, like, my ancestors keep me going. Sometimes it's my family that's still here that keeps me going. Sometimes it's the family that's passed away that keeps me going. So I'm inspired by a lot of different things. There's not just one thing that inspires me. A lot of, different elements have really attributed to the person I am today. But I can definitely say I pull from like various different inspirations at various times, and they all keep me going. Question 8, who is your favorite artist? This is like one of those questions, and then people start naming people from back in the day. So I like I listen to a lot of songs, but the artists that I claim I like are artists that like I know like I know 90 to 99% of their catalog. So if I'm telling you I like an artist, it's because I know 90 to 99% of the catalog. Now, it's possible for me to like a song of an artist but not like the artist. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like, I can like a song, I wouldn't say not necessarily like the artist, but I can like an artist's song but not be like a huge fan of the artist, if that makes sense. And but I don't just like someone because they have one good song. They have to like their whole vibe. I have to like just mess with the whole vibe, right? And that's why most of the artists that I say I like I like 90 to 99% or if 100% of their catalog, but I don't think it's possible to really know 100% of an artist's catalog because most artists don't release all of their music. But if I had to pick my favorite artist, I would pick one of the first kind of groups that really inspired me to kind of want to be an artist and kind of really gave me the idea like, ooh, maybe I can, you know, be on TV one day and sing and dance. And that would be, drum roll please, The Temptations. Growing up, I used to be with my granny. Like, my granny used to watch us a lot, and that was one of her favorite movies. And literally, that was like one of the movies I used to watch, and I like knew all the songs, and I know like that movie heart by heart, like word for word. And that group, that movie is one of my favorite movies with that group. Like, they have some songs that really touch me, like a lot, like majority of their songs really touch me in like a spiritual, like soul way. Like, it touches my soul. Like, I can feel what they were trying to say when they were, you know, singing those songs. And that's what kind of like led me in this direction. I said, in a sense, because I am an artist, and I do write music. It comforts me, and so I would definitely say The Temptations would be who I would select for my favorite artists. Number 9, do you have any regrets? I'm gonna say no, because you know, when you do something at the time you wanted to do it, and I don't like to like dwell on the past of what I could have done better, because I believe all things work together for the good. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Number 10, who's your favorite actor? So, I don't think I have just one favorite. I think I have a few. But anything with Angelina Jolie, anything with Jennifer Lopez, I'm watching it. Anything with those two. I like fell in love with Angelina Jolie when I started seeing majority of her action films. I'm really good, like I'm really a big fan of action movies. In terms of J-Lo, with the movie with J-Lo that kind of got me was, first it was Selena, and then the second movie it was Enough. For some reason those are like my two favorite with J-Lo, and after that, like once I got hooked on those two, after that I could watch everything. And with Angelina Jolie, it was Tomb Raider, I believe it was. And then any like works that she's done after that, I've been drawn in. I really enjoy her work on Salt, just to name another one. But yeah, those would be my two favorite that I can watch anything in. But it's like, I have other favorite actors that I love, right? But those are just the two that I can think of. Like, I love Jada Pinkett. Like anything with, well, you know, I guess I have a top 3, because anything with Jada Pinkett I can watch, okay? But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't really think I have one, but I have a few. Number 11, have you ever saved someone's life? No. Trying to think if I've ever been in like a, you know, life or death like situation where I saved someone's life like that. No, not necessarily. No, because I feel like I would know like right off the bat. But you know, I was a camp counselor, so we were in charge of, you know, helping kids, making sure they were safe in the pool. But I wouldn't say I necessarily you know, had to do like a rescue or anything, but it was just more so like, hey, you know, a kid not to do something so their life won't be in jeopardy. So that's pretty much the closest I've ever got. Number 12, would you ever start your own business? Yes, I do have a clothing line out right now currently. If you just go to my personal website, www.mahoganyishere.com, you can go to the shop tab, and then you'll be able to find my clothing line. Number 13, who's your favorite sibling? You know, with my mom, we know who's the favorite. My younger brother.